Welcome to Upside of Crypto. Do you have a car? Have you ever taken a loan? Listen up. Joining us today is a project that might revolutionize the car rental and just the car industry in general, Carnomaly. And from Carnomaly, we have a very interesting guest. Please introduce yourself.
Yeah, my name is Josh Taylor. I'm the COO of Carnomaly here in Texas.
Fantastic. Great to have you here. And let's start up with why does Carnomaly exist? Isn't the car industry perfect? And why do you try to intrude upon this perfect construct?
Vehicles? Well, the whole goal really is to bring the power back to the people. People get a Carfax, they get a history report on their vehicle, but they can't interact with it in any way other than paying for it and seeing what's on there. So one of the very things we're doing is opening it up so that people, when they do maintenance on their vehicle, they can upload that to the blockchain, and they're going to be the ones interacting with that, and they control how their vehicle looks to dealers when they go to trade it in. So in the automotive industry, the problem is that the dealers really control. They control what the prices are. You can go in and haggle a little bit, but no one really enjoys that experience. So what we're trying to do is make it so that not just the consumers, but also the dealers have more transparency on what vehicles are coming in so that they can offer a fair trade, and that the person bringing their vehicle in feels like they're getting a fair price for the vehicle that they've maintained.
So, you're telling me that the car industry, the vehicle industry, is not perfect. And one of the ways it's not perfect is via information flow. So what information do I not possess right now, Taylor? What could be kind of provided to me so I would get value?
Transparency behind the maintenance done on a vehicle, so people don't know how someone has maintained their vehicle, if they've what oils they've used, what items that they've put on the vehicle. So when you go to purchase a vehicle, you can see how many miles it has, you can see where it was driven, how many owners, if it was in any accidents, but you can't see what was put into the vehicle, what fluids that they used, what filters and so forth. So we're going to be providing that transparency to the user when they go to purchase a vehicle, or they'll be able to provide it to the dealer when they go to trade it in, so that they can get more fair market value and feel like they're not getting worked over by the dealer who's trying to make money on the trade.
Yeah, and how are you going to get that off-world information onto the car blockchain?
So there's an incentivization that will be incentivizing people to upload that information. There will be a membership portal, so you can go in and create a membership. And then every time you perform maintenance on your vehicle, you pull up the app, you scan your VIN, you show how many miles it has, and then you report in with the maintenance that you performed, and you upload your receipts and all of that documentation. And for doing so, you'll get a 10% reward back on all the maintenance that you've done.
Cool. So essentially, I get rewarded for making sure that my vehicle is safe, sound, and I'm able to utilize it correctly, and you're going to incentivize me for my transparency. So you're incentivizing good behavior.
Yes, and then all of this will be verified on our end. We'll have verification steps that we take to make sure that, for one, you are the owner of the vehicle, but then two, that you have gotten it done properly. And so we'll be, we have our algorithms and our system will be scanning the receipts to show proper documentation, so that people aren't just working the system over and trying to take advantage.
Yeah. I mean, so far, even if we end here, it's already a big plus to the end consumer. But that's not all that Carnomaly has to offer.
Absolutely not.
So could we just go into, so as a user, I'm now able to have transparency, and I'm able to have more transparency when I'm haggling with the, let's just say, the shopkeep who's trying to sell me a used car, right?
Right. Yeah, so that's just one component of what we're doing. There's a lot of issues that we will be solving for the dealer as well. But another thing that we're going to be bringing to the consumer is through Cardify. And that is going to make it so that people can take those incentives that they've received on doing their maintenance, and then they can then leverage those in Cardify. So they can earn more tokens. Essentially, Cardify is a form of staking, but you'll be lending it out for people to borrow your tokens. And so, you'll be able to leverage that out. So you're not just receiving an incentive, but you're also receiving access to being able to use those tokens for further gains financially.
Okay, so let's talk about that. So so for example, could I potentially use those tokens to, for example, borrow, so for example, stake my crypto and then buy a car using them?
Yes. So with the tokens, you will be able to, through our Carnomaly marketplace that we're building out, you'll be able to use those tokens to purchase a vehicle on the marketplace. So you'll be able to use not just our native car token, which you'll get a better percentage. If you're doing an auto loan, you'll get a better percentage on your auto loan through Cardify. If you use the car token, you'll also be able to use top cryptos like Bitcoin and Ethereum and USDT and several others. So it's not the only crypto that's going to be accepted, but it will be our native token that will sort of be an incentive on one end, but then also be an advantage because you'll be getting better rates when you use it. And then if you wanted to leverage it by lending it out in Cardify, you can get those better percentages and those earnings from simply doing something that you were already going to do in the first place.
Yeah, and just so I'm clear, so basically I would use my crypto as collateral, or I can just pay in crypto, essentially use your marketplace as just a gateway to buy a Tesla or something.
You'll be able to do both. So you can use your crypto and you can secure a loan through Cardify, or you can take money in that you have in your bank account or wherever, or say you're just trading on another exchange and you want to buy a vehicle, you could use that to purchase a vehicle through the Carnomaly marketplace.
So far, for the consumer, on the consumer level, that's already a good value proposition. But you mentioned the dealer. So what advantages does the dealer get being in the Carnomaly ecosystem?
Well, the biggest problem, and it plagues the industry on both sides. Dealers, as you probably have heard, it's a struggle. When you go in, no one likes to really work with the dealer. Well, there are exceptions to that, obviously. But for the most part, people don't really like the experience because they feel like they're not going to get enough for their trade. So for the dealer, it provides transparency because when someone brings their vehicle in, they will see the maintenance that was performed, and they will know how many owners it was that there have been on the vehicle. All of this will be recorded on the blockchain, so they will know that it's a reliable source of information for the vehicle. You're not just bringing in a stack of paper saying, hey, this is the maintenance that I've done. It's all recorded and verified by a third party, which is us. So that'll provide transparency so that they will feel more confident in the deal that they are offering to the person when they go to trade it in. So on that perspective for the dealer, it's really, really going to help out. But there are many other things that we're working with them on as well, because they pay into a bunch of different services costing thousands, if not tens of thousands of dollars every month for a dealer to be able to, whether it's buying into the auctions or trading vehicles internally from dealer to dealer. So there's a lot of those services that we're going to be bringing to them as well at a fraction of the cost that they're currently paying. So it's going to save them a lot of money. It's going to save them headaches, and it'll give their consumers and the people that buy vehicles through the dealers, it's going to give them a much better experience. So really all the way around, it's an advantage for the dealers.
Indeed. And I'm just curious, why hasn't this happened sooner? So I'm thankful that you guys exist, but surely the industry isn't so pedantic that they've simply been sitting on their laurels and just waiting to be disrupted, or was that exactly the case?
That is the case. Yeah, dealers are resistant to change. They're very obstinate. They like doing the things the way they've done them for 100 years. And so, especially when it comes to technology, these things are coming. These things are happening. And I'm not sure why nothing has been created. Maybe it's because someone didn't really know what the problems were, and they were just they were already in their vein of work, and so that they just didn't do it. But our CEO, Scott Henniger, after working in the car industry for 18 years, really from the bottom all the way up to the top, he knows all of those issues, and he got involved in crypto, and he saw the potential and the problems that he could solve for so many of the network of dealers that he's worked with over the years. And it just made sense for him to start creating these services. And there's a lot of other things that we're going to be doing moving forward as well, because the potential is really, really big, not just in the crypto side, but in the automotive side as well, for providing transparency and just for making it easier for people to interact with their vehicles on the blockchain, online, and then even at home.
That's awesome. Also, if you guys revolutionize vehicle parts industry, that would be amazing, because right now that's another major problem which many users are trying to solve, whether it's an original part or not. And I'm sure as you're doing great work right now, in the future, maybe you can revolutionize that as well. Maybe you already are.
Absolutely, yeah. We're going to be working with manufacturers so that the moment a vehicle is begun to be manufactured, all of the parts and everything will be recorded on the blockchain. So you'll know exactly where the parts came from, who manufactured and what plant they came out of. So if there's an issue, you can trace it all the way back to that specific plant. And anyway, so to make it a lot easier for the manufacturers, and then provide transparency for dealers and consumers alike.
Amazing. So Carnomaly right now, where are you guys based? So let's get to reality a bit. Where are you guys based, and who can enjoy your services, and or when could we enjoy your services?
So our corporate office is in Dallas, Texas. We're based out of Dallas, Texas, and we're really just getting started here in the US, but our plan is to go worldwide. Now, the incentive for maintenance on your vehicles, once memberships go live, that will be a worldwide thing. So you'll be able to upload your vehicle information, which we're working on pulling in all the APIs, so that when someone scans their VIN in another country, it pulls the information, it records it on the blockchain so that they can begin uploading their maintenance and getting those incentives. But we have filed with the SEC for Cardify, and we have a government partnership with the National Motor Vehicle Title Information Systems, which is a system that Carfax also uses to pull in salvage data and for flooded vehicles or vehicles that have been in accidents. So there are those things that we are working on, and there's just many other things that we are tackling moving forward. But yeah, initially we're going to get started here in the US, and then we'll be expanding as we move forward.
Yeah, amazing. And so where are you on your development timeline? So are you in beta stage? Are you already collecting data? So when can I, for example, being in Europe, expect to buy a vehicle, for example, using Carnomaly?
So actually last week we just opened it up so that people could begin beta testing the app. It is limited in its functionality. Our development is forward on some of the other components, but we've limited it to basically people being able to scan their VIN and record their miles and those things on the blockchain. So we had just released the beta app for that, and as we move forward, development is going really, really well. From what we've heard so far, people are really impressed with how seamless it is, how easy it is to use the app and to scan the VIN. All of those things have been working really well. So we're very satisfied with that. We've begun listing on a few other exchanges. We listed on PancakeSwap and Uniswap as well. And so we're looking at some others and some other exchanges, centralized and decentralized exchanges that we can list on. But yeah, so we just released the beta app. And as far as when you can anticipate to be able to use it, it'll most likely be in next year that the app will officially be able to be used in other, and that's a conservative, I'm saying a conservative timeline. It could be sooner, but yeah, you can look at next year being able to use it and start uploading your maintenance. And
that's already very quick. People get kind of a reality check, seeing some projects that made a lot of promises, and when their developers now tell them, yeah, it's going to be twice that what you said before. So even a year or two from now is already mind-blowing for what you're trying to do, because the scale of the data which you are collecting is, it's definitely a worthy endeavor. And where can people follow you and reach out to you and just try to be a part of the Carnomaly ecosystem?
We're pretty active on Twitter. They can go to our Telegram, and we're pretty active on there as well. But we are on Facebook, we're on LinkedIn, and they can go to the website and they can submit a contact form if they want to get in contact with us. We have all of those places where they can go, and we are very readily available. It's one of the things that people say in our Telegram is I love the transparency and the activity in the chat, not just from the admins, but also from the corporate officers as well. We try to make it a point to address everyone's concerns, or questions, whatever they have.
Yeah, so last question is the flip side. So this is the point of the show our viewers love, that we ask a question which is not that easy to answer. So unfortunately, I need to ask, what is your biggest obstacle, very objectively biggest obstacle, which might delay your progress? What is that obstacle?
Well, I think we kind of already mentioned it. Development is a process. It takes a long time. So there's that is going to take a while. We're not sitting here saying that, hey, next week we're going to have everything live where you can start loaning out your funds in Cardify, or being able to use the full functionality of the app. So development is one thing. It's not necessarily an obstacle. It's just a process. But we don't know what regulation looks like here in the U.S. and abroad. Well, it seems like every month or two, some major country says, "Oh, we're banning crypto," and then they reverse course on that. So just dealing with those issues. Not that it can't be done. We're moving forward in that, and the industry as a whole is really, really growing. So we see that as an advantage, to be honest. But yeah, so sort of navigating the waters of regulation and tying all of that in, especially in the DeFi space, where there's a lot of opportunities for people to be taken advantage of. And so we're just trying to mitigate a lot of those and ameliorate some of the problems that are inherent in the DeFi space.
I mean, that's our objective, and very trustworthy answer is all I'll say. It's realistic that we don't know. Even at DailyCoin, we cover it every day. We don't even know what will happen next few months from now. So maybe only Uncle Biden knows, but let's ask him. So other than that, this has been a great interview. Thank you for joining us. Please follow Carnomaly, and also for additional news, follow DailyCoin.com. Like, share, and subscribe. See you in the next one.